The ruminant digestive system uniquely qualifies ruminant animals such as cattle, yaks, and reindeer to digest and use the energy found in plant fiber. Anatomy of the ruminant digestive system includes the mouth, tongue, salivary glands, which produces saliva for buffering rumen pH, the esophagus, a four-compartment stomach, which includes the rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum, the pancreas, the gallbladder, the small intestine, which includes the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, the large intestine, which includes the cecum, colon, and rectum. Ruminants eat rapidly, swallowing much of their feed without chewing it sufficiently. A ruminant uses its mouth, the oral cavity, and tongue to harvest forage during grazing. Cattle harvest forages by wrapping their tongues around the plants and then pulling to tear the forage for consumption. Their incisors are wide with a shovel-shaped crown. Reindeer use their upper split lip to very finely harvest small tundra vegetation, and their incisors are much narrower and are chisel-shaped. On average, ruminants take from 15,000 to more than 40,000 prehensile bites each day. They typically spend more than one-third of their time grazing, one-third of their time ruminating, which is cud chewing, and slightly less than one-third of their time idling, where they are neither grazing nor ruminating. The roof of the ruminant mouth is a hard, sort of soft palate without incisors. The lower jaw incisors work against this hard dental pad during grazing. Premolars and molars match between upper and lower jaws. These teeth crush and grind plant material during initial chewing and rumination. The esophagus functions bidirectionally in ruminants, allowing them to regurgitate their cud for further chewing if necessary. The process of rumination, or chewing the cud, is where forage and other feedstuffs are forced back to the mouth for further chewing, and it mixes it with saliva to form a bolus. Saliva aids in chewing and swallowing and also buffers the pH levels in the reticulum and rumen. Urea is secreted in the saliva, which is involved in nitrogen recycling to the rumen. The cud or bolus is re-swallowed, and if particle size is small enough, the liquid portion passes into the reticulum, then the omasum, and on to the true stomach or abomasum. Large particles move into the rumen for further fermentation for up to 48 hours. These large particles forms a dense floating mat in the rumen where microbes digest the fiber and the plant material to make precursors for energy. The rumen is the largest stomach compartment, holding up to 50 gallons in a mature cow. The reticulum holds approximately 5 gallons in a mature cow. The two compartments are collectively referred to as the reticulo-rumen. The rumen acts as a fermentation vat by hosting microbial fermentation. The reticulo-rumen is home to a population of microorganisms, microbes or rumen bugs that include bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. These microbes ferment and break down plant cell walls into their carbohydrate fractions and produce volatile fatty acids. These volatile fatty acids are used for energy by the ruminant. Acetate is used for fat synthesis, propionic acid is used for glucose synthesis, and butyrate is used for energy for internal organs, including the rumen. Rumen microorganisms also digest complex starch, synthesize protein from non-protein nitrogen, and synthesize B vitamins and K vitamins. Rumen pH typically ranges from 6.5 to 6.8. The rumen environment is anaerobic, that means without oxygen, and the gases produced in the rumen include carbon dioxide, methane, a greenhouse gas, and hydrogen sulfide. The microbes pass through the GI tract and are in turn digested by the ruminant. So the ruminant is digesting the microbes, it isn't digesting the plant material. The reticulum is called the honeycomb because of the honeycomb appearance of its lining. It sits underneath and toward the front of the rumen, lying against the diaphragm. Ingestion flows freely between the reticulum and rumen. The main function of the reticulum is to collect smaller digestive particles and move them into the omasum, while the larger particles remain in the rumen in the fiber mat for further digestion. The reticulum also traps and collects heavy, dense objects the animal may consume. When a ruminant consumes a nail, wire, or other sharp, heavy object, it is very likely the object will be caught in the reticulum and cause health problems. The omasum is spherical and connected to the reticulum by a short tunnel. It is called the many plies or the butcher's Bible in reference to the many folds or leaves that resemble pages of a book. These folds increase the surface area, which increases the area that absorbs nutrients from feed and water. Water absorption occurs in the omasum. Reindeer have a highly developed large omasum for water conservation. The abomasum is the true stomach of a ruminant. It is the compartment that is most similar to our stomachs. The abomasum produces hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes such as pepsin, which breaks down proteins into amino acids, and receives digestive enzymes secreted from the pancreas. The pancreas secretes pancreatic lipase, which breaks down fats. These secretions break down proteins to amino acids and fats for absorption in the small intestine. The pH in the abomasum is very acidic and ranges from 3.5 to 4. The small and large intestines follow the abomasum as further sites of nutrient absorption. Digestia entering the small intestine mixed with secretions from the pancreas and liver, which elevates the pH from 2.5 to between 7 and 8. This higher pH is needed for enzymes to work in the small intestine. Bile from the gallbladder is secreted into the first section of the small intestine, called the duodenum, to aid in digestion. Some ruminants, like reindeer, do not have a gallbladder. Active nutrient absorption occurs throughout the small intestine. The intestinal wall contains numerous finger-like projections called villi that increase the intestinal surface area to aid in nutrient absorption. The large intestine absorbs water from material passing through it and then excretes the remaining material as feces from the rectum. The cecum is a large blind pouch at the beginning of the large intestine and also supports microbial fermentation. The cecum in reindeer is the site where hemicellulose is primarily digested.